Good afternoon, y'all. Ryan Lawrence here with Nashville Cats Fishing. I just felt like I kind of needed to bring this video on. So I've kind of been absent from YouTube world for pretty much since last spring, maybe over the winter. Haven't put much out over the last 5-6 months. I spent a lot of time just, concentrating on guiding and doing that. It's been pretty busy, so I haven't had time to shoot as much or put as much out, but it's made me have to come and think about the YouTube channel. Am I going to stop it? Am I going to continue it? If I don't continue, of course, they're going to demonetize and do all that, and I have to do all that over, so that's not too much fun as it is, but that's the YouTube world. If you're not relevant, you're gone. So I've kind of thought about it, and I think I'm going to continue putting out some more videos. We're just going to do maybe a little bit different style. I would like y'all's input. I got some loyal followers that watch all the videos. If there's something out there they're interested in seeing, just let me know. It's maybe a how-to video or that, which I plan on doing that. Kind of my direction I see the channel was kind of doing some tackle talks, going over some of the gear I use, from all over the boat to rods, reels, things like that, to some how-to videos. I'm not sure what those will consist of. I love some of y'all's opinions on, some how-to videos on something you're interested in. Of course, we're gonna have some our catfishing videos. They're gonna come out, when it's just me in the boat. I want to start getting a little bit more detail oriented with y'all, instead of just watching me catch fish. It's one thing I think I've kind of slacked on a little bit, but with that being said, I do have several videos from the spring that I recorded. I'm not even sure what I all have on SD cards right now, but they're all full. So if I want to start making some videos, I need to get some off those cards. So you're going to see a variety of different stuff coming out that was older videos. My first videos probably from, this coming up this fall, is going to be next weekend's videos, where myself and Mark are going to go down to New Orleans and fish for some cats. So that should be a good time. We're going to take y'all along and see what we get into down there. Never been there, but let's go have some fun before the winter comes up. So just keep in mind, you might see some videos from the spring. You might see some videos from last winter. I mean, it is what it is. I just kind of stopped doing everything, and I don't want to waste that footage. So some are going to be with some guide clients, some will not. We're going to do some videoing with some clients if they care if we video, but a lot of those will probably turn into shorts and things like that. You follow me on TikTok, Nashville Cats Fishing on TikTok. I put a lot of little clips on there from guide trips and just the excitement out of folks catching fish. I'm sure there's some viewers on here that's probably gone out with me on a trip, and if you come back out with me, we're probably gonna do stuff like that. It's just a good memory for y'all too. You catch the fish, but you ain't seen quite the excitement you have on catching a big fish. So we're starting including some of that, but more of that's gonna be on TikTok. I'm gonna try to keep YouTube. I might put a few shorts on there, but I'm gonna try to keep YouTube just straight videos. And of course, Nashville Cats on Facebook. If you're not, if you haven't liked that page or haven't followed that page, go on over and follow those pages. All this helps me out, get more content to y'all. If you see me looking behind me, we're skipjack fishing. I do have a trip tomorrow, so I got some lazy rigs out here, which that'll be another video, but if I hear one of them rods clacking back there with a fish on it, you're going to see me jump up pretty fast. But also, the other turn, I think, of the channel is not going to be just catfish. I spend a lot of time guiding for cats on Old Hickory. I don't do as much traveling. There's not many tournament videos anymore, which I know a lot of people like those. I'm kind of just staying more local. We're going to do a couple tournaments, like the Bama Blues tournament, so we'll record that kind of stuff. But we're going to do some non-catfish species. We are Nashville Cats. I am the Nashville Cat, I guess you will say. So we're going to do some trolling some crankbait videos. I've really been enjoying that. I've had some kids really have a blast coming out, and we're trolling some little shad wraps and stuff like that on the lake, catching 8 to 9 different species a day, which, you know, when you got some young kids that want to go out and just lots of action, that is one way of doing it. And I'm having a blast at it. So we're going to have some videos on that on there. I'm going to spend some time this fall when I'm not guiding, maybe not fishing for catfish, but we're going to try to hit some striper. You know, Old Hickory's a trophy striper lake as well, and I just don't really target them unless I accidentally catch them. So I'm going to bring you all along, and if we get some, we don't. You know what I mean? It's going to be trial and error, kind of learn that lake, especially in the wintertime when I know them stripers kind of come down on the big end of the lake where I fish a lot. And I have a chance to get them, whether that's trolling crankbaits, maybe putting some live shad out on, I don't know what we're going to do. I have no idea. That's a whole new species. I've only caught them by accident, but I want to learn more. You might see some trips, not so much on Old Hickory, trying to learn. There's another lake here in Nashville, Percy Priest. We got some really good friends that guide down there, and they kind of tell me how good of a flathead lake it is. You know, they're catching, I don't know how good, but they're catching some flatheads, fishing for other species. So, you know, it's something I want to learn. I've never been good at catching flatheads on a lake, and I would really like to learn. Like, well, a true lake. Old Hickory is more of a river lake, and Percy Priest is more of a lake. They don't run a lot of water through it, so it gets thermoclines and does all that. So that's some neat stuff I want to work on. You might see me doing some walleye videos. We are below Old Hickory Dam right now. There is walleye, saugers in here. And over the winter, I want to try to target them some and just try to learn how to fish for them in this winter section. So, you know, I don't know if that's something y'all were even interested in. If it's not, and you're like, man, I don't want to see any of that, you know, stick to catfishing. You know, we like your catfish videos. Just leave it in a comment. Like, hey, you know what I mean? What you prefer? I mean, I know there's things I want to try and do. It's not so much catfish related. And that's more of me just wanting to enjoy Tennessee for all it has to offer. You know, we live in a beautiful state who has a variety of different species, and I want to start targeting some other species. You know, we're gonna put that on video, and y'all can kind of learn a little bit on what I'm learning, because we'll be learning together. I am no pro at catching anything, any of these other species. I'm just learning as I go. So, you know, y'all be coming along and learning with me. Hopefully we can have some good videos, and they're not just a bunch of videos of nothing. But yeah, I think that's it. I would like, you know, we can get a little bit more interactional videos. You know, maybe we'll do some lives. I haven't done too much with lives, or I know some folks do those unedited videos where you kind of just go out, you know, 3 hours, record, and it is what it is. You get to see a day of fishing. If that's something y'all are interested in, let me know. We're just trying to kind of revive this channel, I guess. I kind of felt it was getting dormant, wasn't getting a lot of views, and it's a lot of work. You know, it's coming out here in the water is one thing, but going home and sitting on a computer trying to edit videos, it takes a lot of time away from a lot of things. So, I mean, if it's something that you're interested in, I would, you know, like to take the time to do it and put the videos out. But if it's not, then I don't want to waste too much time, you know, doing stuff like that. So I guess that's all I really have. You know, like I said, if there's something y'all are interested in me doing a video on, like I have some in mind. You know, we just moved into a new house, so I'll actually have my smaller boat out, maybe doing some videos with it. I've just been sitting in storage for the last year because where I lived before in an HOA, I could not have two boats there, and it was just such a pain in the rear end doing a lot of things in that smaller boat. So I'm not always want to drag this big 24-foot boat out, and it's, you know, sometimes it's a lot, especially when we're talking about other species. So I don't know, that's kind of all I got, guys. You know, like I said, please leave some stuff in the comments, something you might be interested in, especially for, you know, I've had so many viewers that's been here from the beginning, and I appreciate every one of y'all. To all my new subscribers, or, you know, just somebody popping in and watching, let's leave a comment. Let me know what you're interested in. The more you let me know, you know, the more we can kind of grow and learn stuff together, especially fishing for these different species. So I think that's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna go out here and start casting a little bit, trying to get some bait for tomorrow, and if the guys tomorrow want to do some recording, we're going to do a little recording on that. Maybe get some shorts. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow, so I'm not quite sure how good the camera is going to hear but wind. But I'll at least have a small camera going and doing some live action stuff. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. So I can't think of anything else right now, but you know, we're going to come back. We got several videos already on tape, like I said, that we're going to get out. They're older videos, but you know, just bear with them. I don't know how great they are. Heck, I don't even remember what days I've recorded in the spring and which ones, what I even have on film. So me going back and editing these things, I guess I'm going to remember what my days are. We've got to, so you'll probably see, till we can clear some of these videos out, I'm going to try to edit and get maybe one, maybe 2 a week, just to get caught back up, sorta, and get some stuff out. You know, it is slowing down for me this time of year. You know, guidance not as busy in the fall and over the winter, so I have time to do more videos. Where in the summer, if it's anything like last summer, you know, I was running full throttle with trips and work. So, so just bear with the next few videos. I hope you enjoy them. I'm gonna rewatch them just like that because I just don't remember what's on film. But like I said, if you want to see some shorter videos, some stuff like that, you know, go follow me on TikTok, Nashville Catch Fishing there. Of course, my Facebook, Nashville Catch Fishing. You know, I put a lot of stuff out, content out on there too. It's just not on YouTube. And we're gonna try to keep these videos rolling, and hopefully y'all enjoy them. So stay tuned for the next one. Should have one coming out in the next couple days, and then we're just gonna go from there. So thanks, y'all.